Let us see innovation in education and top 10 trends in education. What is meant by educational innovation? There are so many innovations nowadays in education. So what is that in the sense? It means solving a real problem in a new, simple way to promote equitable learning. Innovation in education matches the scale of the solution to the scale of challenge. See, immersive learning is a contemporary learning style that uses technology to engage your senses that a traditional lecture might not be able to accomplish. There are four basic categories of learning styles that most students fall under. It is number one is visual, auditory, reading, reading and writing, and kinetic. These are the four basic categories of learning styles nowadays. So in the same way, the photo or video can help the student to visualize a challenging concept. Immersive learning can add a new element to the standardized curriculum and engage the senses. There are many different ways to create the immense learning experience, including virtual tour of the human body to help the students to learn about anatomy, kind of like a real life version, the magic school bus. How can VR be used in the classroom? So what is this VR? Okay, VR is a computer generated environment that can be experienced from all angles. So you have to have this in your mind. VR is a computer generated environment that can be experienced from all angles. Okay, so that is VR. Now, two mediums are typically used for VR. One form is through a computer where the students can click around the digital environment and zoom in on any spots they are most interested in. A notable example of this form of VR is the Street View feature on Google Maps. Next one. Below are some of the common issues in education we can see here. So what are the education we are facing here in the sense? Standardized testing, inequality in the education system, and adaptive learning. These three issues are there in education. Okay, many educators are being argued that this approach to teaching is now outdated. They argue schools needs to change to meet the increasingly technology based on globalized world in which our students will live and work in the future. It requires them to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create new ideas and products. Okay. Now, it is these higher skills, higher order skills that are shaping current education trends. Educators are asking what they are asking in the sense how we can better integrate the higher order skills of Bloom's taxonomy into our classroom. So we all know what is Bloom's taxonomy, and it is very, very important for the classroom teaching. The educators are thinking and they are asking how to bring this one into the classroom. This will better prepare our students for a world their information is everywhere, and what to do with that information will decide our future success in our career. So it is based on each and every individual to collect the information from various parts of the world. Now let us see, this is a Bloom's taxonomy pyramid. The the base of the what activity is remembering. Next one is understanding, applying, analyzing. Fifth step of the pyramid is evaluating, and the last stage of the cone is creating. Okay, so Bloom's taxonomy has different steps. There are 6 steps. First step, the basic one, is remembering. Whatever the students learning, they have to remember it. Next one, they have to understand and study. Next one, they have to, whatever they studied, okay, they have to apply in their life. Then they have to analyze it, whether it is working out or not. Then they have to evaluate it, okay, how far it is worthful, and creating. For what he learned from that knowledge, he has to create a new one. So that is Bloom's taxonomy. This is the pyramid of Bloom. Okay, keep in mind, first one remembering, second one understanding, applying, analysis, evaluating, and creating. Okay. So this one describes relate, tell and find. Next one discuss, outline, explain and predict. This one use, illustrate, complete and solve it. Analyzing is identifying, comparing, explaining, categorizing. So all these are coming in this one. So whenever the child study, he has to remember what he studied, and whenever he studied, he has to understand and study. Then what he studied, he has to apply, analyze and evaluate. Then he has to create his own, okay, own ideas. He has to create his own ideas. Next one, see, this is what given here. So each of these trends uses the interactive design approach. Okay, what is the iteration? In the sense, repetition of mathematical or computational procedure applied to the result of a previous application. Typically it means of obtaining successively closer approximation to the solution of a problem. Next one, see, how can AR be used in the classroom? So what is AR? Okay, AR is a form of technology that allows you to add digital images to the real world. Okay, this can be done through apps or on AR, that is compatible smartphones, which will let you look through your phone's camera lens to view the augmented images on your smartphone screen. The most notable example of AR's use was the 2016 mobile game, that is Pokemon Go. Okay, which allowed the app to access your camera so that you could see Pokemon creatures in the real world. The bringing all the imaginary pictures into a real, okay, real, that is by the app. Because AR is rooted in reality in the sense the 3D pictures, the 3D images we can see in the classroom, we can bring to the classroom. Okay, so that is it is possible through the app, so that the teachers can do it in the classroom and explain. See, for example, dinosaur you have to bring in the classroom in the sense with the 3D image, digital image, you can bring the dinosaur inside the classroom. Okay, the elephant inside the classroom, the tiger inside the classroom. So the educational technology is that much developed to bring everything whatever present in the world, you can bring into the classroom. So that is what this app is telling. Okay, with the AR, students can use their smartphones to see comments on labels on diagram. Teachers can show their students the solar system in their classroom or 3D models of the objects you can show into the classroom and explain. Now, VR, what is VR in the sense? Virtual reality. Virtual reality in the sense the dinosaur won't be there, but he can create a dinosaur inside the classroom. It is a real dinosaur, but it is virtual. Okay. Not true, it is virtual only. You can see, that's up. Leaders in the education industry can consider adding more immersive and integrative experiences. So VR means virtual reality. We can bring through the apps. Kinesthetic energy. What is this one in the sense? It refers to the need of movement and realistic situational examples when acquiring information. Kinesthetic energy. Sometimes this may ask the exam, what is this in the sense? It's a common type of learning style where the individuals prefer to partake in physical activity to understand their roles. Okay. Kinesthetic energy, kinesthetic learning. The learner exhibit great motor ability and memory power to respond to learning. And kinesthetic learner is someone who needs to be actively engaged in their education. So this learner is very, very active. That learner is called as kinesthetic learner. Top 10 trends in education are: first one, online learning, distance learning, blended learning, social emotional learning. See, you have to keep this one in mind. SEL means social emotional learning. Homeschooling, M-learning in the sense mobile learning, personalized learning, project-based learning, gamification, and bite-sized learning. Online learning. To begin with, the kicking of popular trends in education list today is online learning. Due to COVID effects over 1.2 billion children are out of school globally. This everyone know this one, isn't it? So at that time, the online learning wasn't popular. In lockdown status occurred and entered in nearly almost the entire map. During the tough time, it is not possible for teachers and learners to attend face-to-face classes. So at that time, only the help is online learning. Many traditional classes transform into online classes, and online learning seems to be most productive way to remain and ensure educational quality. Number two is distant learning. This you all know what is distant learning. With the remote learning, learners can get a course in the absence of in-person interaction. This provides the education can be carried on from distance no matter where we are. So that is called as distant learning. Anywhere we can get the admission and we can do learning. Blended learning. What is blended learning? It is also known as technology-mediated instruction, web-enhanced instruction, or mixed mode of instruction is an approach to education that combines online educational materials and opportunities for interaction online with the physical place-based classroom method. Okay, so this is classroom learning and this is online learning. And these two combined is called as blended learning. Okay, some part we get from the classroom and some from the online. Okay, so both are called as blended learning. The knowledge which acquired is called as blended learning. Social emotional learning, SEL. Okay, SEL is social emotional learning. Social emotional learning is the process of developing the self-awareness, self-control and interpersonal skill that are vital for schoolwork and life success. People with strong social emotional skills are better able to cope with everyday challenges and benefit automatically, professionally and socially. Okay, all the everyday challenges and benefits academically, professionally and socially we are getting, that is called as social emotional learning. Okay, what we are getting in through this learning in the sense self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision making and future self. Fifth one is homeschooling. Parents educate their children at home rather than sending to the public or private school. In this education style, parents now also become teachers. They can create unique curricula as well as suitable methods for children. Sixth one is mobile learning. What is mobile learning? This is in short form, it is called as M-learning. Mobile devices are also are now very essential parts of our day-to-day lives, obviously. We could not agree more than that the mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, laptops, etc. benefits us a lot in education. Okay, in many ways, M-learning can simplify our lives. See, wherever we are sitting, we can learn with a mobile. Okay, if we have a net connection. Hence, M-learning is an ideal way to help people keep up with the ever-changing world. That is why it always has a good position at the top trends in education. Seventh one, personalized learning. As the name suggests, this is a student-centered education. Personalized learning gives learners chances to raise their voices and choices. That is, they can enjoy learning at their own place. Project-based learning, BPL. This is also known as experiential learning. Knowledge is a consequence of experience. People cannot grow up if they just follow the grasp in textbooks indeed. Global citizens have to experience real things in real life. That is called as project-based learning. Ninth one, gamification. What do you mean by gamification? See, some confuse the current trend with the playing games, but they are not same. Basically, gamification refers to applying the machines and theory of games to non-game context. When combining gamification in teaching and learning, learners will be inspired and motivated to complete their task. This is not a new educational trend, but it is always gets a spotlight in education. So this education is also very, very trend nowadays. Bite-sized learning, micro-learning. This is called as micro-learning. So keep this in mind. Maybe sometimes they ask what is micro-learning. In the sense, it is bit-sized learning. Another name for micro-learning is bite-sized learning. Bite-sized learning becomes a nice ending for the list of popular trends in education today. This learning style answers the concern short-term attention. It is said that the average student's attention span is between 10 and 15 minutes only. Okay, so what is the sperm? What is the span for student attention? Average student attention is only 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so a small part gives a very good result, but it seems to shorten for smaller children. So bite-sized learning was born to offer clear and concise content to learners. So thanks for watching and subscribing this channel. Share this video to your friends, those who are preparing for the competitive exams. So make this channel subscribe.